All right, guys. Next topic. Here we go. Well, you know what? We're not going to make it that deep. I had planned on doing. I mean, it's a little bit of a deep dive, but I plan on really deep dive into it. But let's just keep it light, keep it fun. I've been watching a lot of YouTube of the subject matter that I love to watch. And that's politics and tech and music and all everyone is saying is just saying like, look what they said then and look what they're saying now. No one's going deeper than that comment. Well, I mean, people are, but like the mainstream media, no one is taking a look just one step behind that subject, like staying on that subject, but just like one step behind, like, okay, yeah, why did they say that then? Why are they saying this now? Yeah, no one's saying why, but from what we know of the situation, what can be gleaned from that? So first, I just want to start off with Diddy and all the tapes. Do you remember when it first came out? It was, oh man, Ashton Kutcher's involved, Leonardo DiCaprio's going down, J-Lo's going down, Ellen DeGeneres, left the country because she didn't want to, go down with the ship, and like all these things, and it seemed true because people were disappearing, literally out of the public eye, right? Like it was almost like a pandemic disappearance of anyone associated with Diddy. Justin Bieber, of course, and like everything that he's gone through with addiction and the shame and guilt that you can see emitting from his face, right? There was countless tapes that were being looked at and reported on, from TMZ to Popcorn Planet, right? And everything in between. I guess let's say from CNN to Popcorn Planet. How about that? And then this on June 25th, Diddy prosecutors abandoned multiple allegations against rapper days before the trial's end. Prosecutors indicated three allegations against Sean Diddy Combs would not be pursued by the government. I feel like these indictments, there was lots of evidence to proceed with these indictments. So why would they change that? Let's listen to this report. I haven't heard this, so.
Summer starts here. Explore more with Pierce RV and Marine. Family road trips.
Both sides resting their cases yesterday in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial. Closing arguments now set to begin tomorrow. CB Cotton live outside the courthouse in New York City for us. Any news coming from inside the court today?
Hey, John. Well, jurors are off today, but this afternoon, Diddy's defense team, prosecutors, and the judge will meet to finalize jury instructions before deliberations begin, likely on Monday. Because get this, closing arguments are expected to take all of tomorrow and Friday. And prosecutors have also now told the court they'd like to simplify how one charge is explained to the jury. For more than 6 weeks now, prosecutors have argued Sean Diddy Combs used his fame and intimidation to create a sex crime ring. Diddy faces 5 total counts, the most serious charge, racketeering conspiracy. The prosecution called 34 witnesses, including 2 ex-girlfriends, former employees, and law enforcement officials. They testified about the drug-fueled marathon sex events called freak-offs. Jurors were shown images of baby oil, lubricant, drugs, weapons, bruises, explicit text, and even some videos from the freak-offs. Defense attorneys presented their case in about 30 minutes yesterday. Diddy did not testify, and his lawyers did not call any witnesses, but instead pointed to some additional explicit text and other court documents maintaining all the sex was consensual. They even played parts of Diddy's old voice messages to
they didn't want to complicate it.
We should really just focus on, at the end of the day, what will make you get better? What do you want me to do to make you feel better? What do you want me to give you? How can we get to a solution so we can move on?
So today, the judge may also rule on a defense motion for an acquittal on all counts. Yesterday, a defense attorney went line by line to explain why they believe the prosecution has not met its burden of proof. Diddy has maintained his innocence and pleaded not guilty to all the charges. John.
CB Cotton Force with the update. CB, thank you. We'll look forward to the closing argument.
So that didn't really talk about the banning the multiple allegations, but the prosecutors indicated that they are not pursuing several allegations against the rapper that pertain to the racketeering charge. Just days before closing arguments are set to begin, the government indicated in a letter to the judge Tuesday and obtained by Fox News Digital that the theories of attempted kidnapping, attempted arson, and aiding and abetting sex trafficking will not be pursued. Why? Why? They believed it in the beginning. They had proof of that in the beginning. Why did they not present that proof? Why did James Comey's daughter not present that proof? I said a couple of times, I don't know, 3 months ago, when I first found out Comey's daughter was involved in this, it took me aback. Not only that was she involved, not that she was involved, but that another prosecutor left, a black prosecutor, and I'm only saying his color because I think the optics would have looked better because Diddy is African American, and so, but he was an amazing, well-liked lead trial prosecutor for the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District of New York, and he stepped away from the trial, from participating in the trial, and in comes James Comey's daughter. Again, Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein, Diddy. And my theory is that she's a fixer, that she's covering up for some of her dad's friends and for some of her dad's friends, and that it's all part of that weird conspiracy of these individuals that obviously have some power to stay anonymous. And it's so crazy and out there, and it's almost like they're protecting intelligence assets, right? And those intelligence assets can be gentlemen that are being blackmailed to do certain things to complete specific agendas that these intelligence communities operators would have. And I know I'm going way off what I normally would say about these things, but look, everywhere else the discussion ends with Bongino and Kash Patel. Well, okay, if they are lying, which they were either lying then or now, there's a reason, because before they were in those positions, it was, it's the gangster congressman and the gangster this are covering this up. It's the left, they're keeping all this, they're covering up for their friends. Well, those friends of the left are also the friends of the right when it comes to, people doing a job of intelligence, of espionage, all the things, right? And so while that conversation ends there, we need to go to where I feel like where I'm going today with this. And it's hard to believe, but and we don't have to accept it. And no one's ever going to come out and say, like, I'm sorry, guys, it's just not going to happen. No one's going to come out and just say, yeah, here's the list, and there never was a list there. And I'm not getting into semantics if it's a list or a group of people or a file of people. I really do feel like people can pass a lie detector like Kash Patel and Bondi by saying, no, there's no list, because there never was a list. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like they would pass a lie detector test because, they're like, no, it's a group, they could, do you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying. I was thinking about that last night, but it's really the only answer. It really is, because Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, those are good human beings. And Dan Bongino too. And I just think they're in over their head a little bit. It's yeah, they were out on the campaign trail and prior to being appointed, had a lot to say about these topics, about the Epstein files, about even Diddy sometimes, and that they were going to put it out there. But look, if the left couldn't put it out, the right can't either. We should have known that. We really should have. The AP reports the mystery surrounds the Jeffrey Epstein files after Bondi claims tens of thousands of videos. Eric Tucker reports it was a surprising statement from Attorney General Pam Bondi as the Trump administrator promises to release more files from its sex trafficking investigation of Jeffrey Epstein. The FBI, she said, was reviewing tens of thousands of videos of the wealthy financier with children or child porn. I don't think she lied about that. She didn't. The comment made to reporters at the White House days after a similar remark to a stranger with a hidden camera raised the stakes for President Donald Trump's administration to prove it has in its possession previously unseen compelling evidence. That task is all the more pressing after an earlier document dump that Bondi hyped angered elements of Trump's base by failing to deliver new bombshells and its administration officials who had promised to unlock supposed secrets of the so-called government deep state struggle to fulfill that pledge. And that's really what needs to happen. It's exactly what it should be called, is an unlock, because it's locked up by deep state intelligence communities. There's a lock on it, and it's a big lock. And Bondi, Patel, and Bongino didn't know that lock existed. They really didn't. Hold on, I'm going to go find James Collins' comment. James Collins Care says, comment, Tom McDonald post was the best. Tapes and lists not being released proves that the left and the right can agree on things. Yeah, they can agree that this is bigger than them. It's more deep and shadowed than any of them could have ever understood or believed. Like, look, you can say like, oh yeah, I believe the deep state exists, and I believe that that there's a secret shadow government, but to actually be a part of it and witness it firsthand has got to be very hard for all of them. And they probably had a meeting and decided, like, look, like I know in the beginning, like, I think on Friday it was a little, Bongino was quitting, Kash Patel came out, I stand by what I said, and Pam Bondi not involved in the email chain, for a leaked memo to Axios. I get all those things happen, but they hadn't gotten together to stick by the story that needed to be presented to the public. And I think they're all there now. There's old piece of shit right there. I'm just going to read this a little bit, and then I'm going to show you something else. The Associated Press spoke with lawyers and law enforcement officials in criminal cases of Epstein and socialite former girlfriend Ghislaine Maxwell, and we're going to get to Ghislaine, who said they hadn't seen or didn't know of a trove of recordings like what Bondi described. Indictments and detention memos do not reference the existence of videos Epstein with children, and neither was charged with possession of child sex abuse material, even though that offense would have been much easier to prove than the sex trafficking counts they faced. Yeah. And now that is what they have, but with no other defendants or perpetrators. They're right. It would be a lot easier to prove that, because there you go. But it would have been hard to have included Ghislaine Maxwell unless she's specifically in those videos, which she is not. One potential clue may lie in a little noticed 2023 court filing among hundreds of documents reviewed by the AP, in which Epstein's estate was revealed to have located an unspecified number of videos and photos that said might contain child sex abuse material. But even that remains shrouded in secrecy, with lawyers involved in the civil case saying a protective order prevents them from discussing it. A protective order or a hush order by the CIA and Mossad, via the CIA, or the CIA via the Mossad, which is even scarier, right? To think that Mossad is running operations in our country, which I do believe is part of this. It's another reason why like this information can't get out, or why they're not letting it out, is because if we have to agree that Mossad is running an operation in our country, then that's a whole nother set of, okay, we want that list. We want a list of Mossad agents. We want a list of the CIA agents that let it happen. CIA directors from years past. It's just a snowball of what could happen if this information got out. I'm not saying I agree that it doesn't come out. I'm just saying it's such a vicious snowball. Where would that leave our country in the end? Except for like, okay, now we have the truth, but then what? Then what? I really don't think, I don't think that they believe our country could take a blow like that right now. I really don't. And it's protection. They're protecting us. I feel like that's what they believe, that they are protecting us. I think some would say we don't need that protection. I think some would say, if that's what it is, then yeah, you know what? Let all them do what they do, as long as it doesn't affect our Constitution and our constitutional rights here. as Americans, like, I'm good on knowing all that truth. You know, my truth is the Holy Bible for real. That's my truth, and the Constitution. That's all I need to understand. But I just love I love this country, and so, you know, I'm curious about what is happening with all this, and I really truly believe in my heart of hearts that that's what's happening, and it sucks. It sucks for the victims of any child or young adult that's under the age of 18 that's in those videos that can't see justice. That sucks, because then now their rights are getting taken away, that their freedoms and their, you know, what they have coming as citizens of this country is being denied. The department declined to repeated requests from the AP to speak with officials overseeing the Epstein review. Spokespeople did not answer a list of questions about Bondi's comments, including when and where the recordings were procured, what they depict, and whether they were newly discovered as authorities dug through their evidence collection or were known for some time to have been in the government's possession. I think I read that wrong. The department declined repeated requests from the AP to speak with officials overseeing the Epstein review. Spokespeople did not answer a list of questions about Bondi's comments, including when. Okay, now I get it. Outside sources who make assertions about materials included in the DOJ's review cannot speak to what materials are included in the DOJ's review, spokesperson Chad Gilmartin said in the statement. Epstein's crimes, high-profile connections, and jailhouse suicide have made the case a magnet for conspiracy theorists. Yeah, I mean, and see, here's now where they have the unbelievable. It's like now they can twist it and say, now we're all conspiracy theorists, which we are. We're theorizing on a conspiracy, right? But it's so easy for them to say, oh, they're just a bunch of whack jobs with these big conspiracy theories. So Epstein's crimes, high profile connections, and jailhouse suicide have made the case a magnet for conspiracy theorists and online sleuths seeking proof of a cover-up. Like, the proof of a cover-up is already there. That we're not seeking proof of a cover-up. We're seeking the truth and who those people are. Well, let's watch a couple of things. I'm just gonna
to intimidate me, harass me, and possibly
prosecuted for. You got charges for racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, and transportation for prostitution. That's what's taking place right now. What is he not being prosecuted for that he's been allegedly accused of doing over the years? For example, sexual abuse of minors ages 9 to 17 in the 90s, 2000 civil suits. You know what happened? Likely barred by statute of limitations or lacked sufficient criminal evidence. Gone. Murder, blackmail, and surveillance claims, Kim Porter, drive leaks, highly speculative with no verified forensics or corroborating evidence.
I love you guys too.
Arson, alleged car bombing of Kid Cudi's vehicles, alleged by Cassie but not supported by public documentation or prosecutable evidence. Gone. Civil allegations from 120 accusers, many told unverified and not investigated fully. Some may still be under review, but right now we only know about 4. So this is the one part that we got to be thinking about, because a lead prosecutor can determine whether your crime is going to be bigger or less, more scrutinized, and people are going to be looking at everything, or less. Damian Williams, who was the lead prosecutor until he resigned in December of 2024, Damian Williams is a pretty connected guy. He's been a lead prosecutor on a lot of different things. You ready?
Listen,
Epstein,
this is what I was talking
you got
about.
Diddy,
I don't know if you guys heard
got
of it
Ghislaine Maxwell, and many others. He was appointed by President Biden. He used to work, had a relations with the Soros family. So he steps away in December of 2024 for Diddy. Why would he step away? And you know who replaces him as a lead prosecutor? Maureen Comey. You know who Maureen Comey is? She is.
Think about that for a second. Why the F would he step away? It makes no sense unless they wanted something done. And when I say they, it's the mysterious, they, deep state they. There's no other reason. He didn't give a reason for stepping out. He just stepped out. And I remember we all reported on it. We were like, whoa, what the F? And we just figured he wanted no part of it because I don't know. I can't remember what we thought. We thought, oh wait, no. I'm thinking about the guy who left the Diddy team, who was like the perfect lawyer to be on the team, and he left. Because we feel like because Diddy wasn't cooperating, so he left the case.
James Comey, the former director of FBI that put the 8647 on his Instagram, she is his daughter. That is now the lead prosecutor going against Diddy. Do you think Diddy's going to end up being guilty? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Right? It's nuts, man. Okay, let's
New tonight, the MAGA movement's push for public disclosure of the Justice Department's files on notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein now includes a high-profile Trump ally.
I'm for transparency.
House Speaker Mike Johnson.
It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it.
A push for damage control from the president's own daughter-in-law, Lara Trump.
That really is how I should be putting it. It's a delicate subject, to put it lightly, right?
I do think that there needs to be more transparency on this. And I think that will happen.
Earlier today, Attorney General Pam Bondi tried to deflect Epstein questions.
Nothing about Epstein. I'm not going to talk about Epstein.
Reporters pressed her on new comments today from President Trump, suggesting Bondi consider opening some files.
She's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
The president said today you would release credible files related to Mr. Epstein.
Yeah, see, now that's a whole nother statement I didn't consider. Like, okay, so now he's saying, okay, she can release credible files, whatever she thinks is credible. He's still putting the the onus or whatever on her. He's still, separating himself from the subject, really, or from the situation. So now what she's going to say, okay, I'm going to find at least something to release and then we'll all be happy. I think it's too late for that. For real. I really do. I think it's too late. And if you guys would have heard what I had said before, that would make a little more sense. I don't know.
Are you prepared to do that, and when would you?
Our memo speaks for itself, and we'll get back to you on anything else.
That DOJ memo said it found no incriminating client list, no credible evidence of blackmail, and therefore no further disclosure. That stunned some Trump supporters.
And look, what if that's true? Let's just say that it's absolutely true. And that, everyone was just going on what they thought from the previous administration and what was being said, or what maybe we just all assume that. I'm going to chat GPT later. Like, when was the first mention of a list? Who said it first? I mean, we just assumed. Did we just assume? Now I don't know. It's crazy.
Because she had said this in February when asked about
and maybe she assumed that the file on her disk was a list. Like, look, that's completely giving everyone 30 million times the benefit of the doubt.
Client list.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Then her push to clarify.
My response was, It's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
The controversy lit a political wildfire in MAGA world.
Make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Asked about these new calls for action, senior officials point to the president's own words, where he says it's up to Bondi to decide. One official telling me, we'll see what happens. Tom?
Let's listen to Truth and Justice. They put a talking about Epstein working for Mossad. What I was talking about, I think, during the blackout of my audio.
The Epstein scandal. Now, as part of our investigation, we spoke to Ari Ben-Mashani, who is a former Israeli spy. He said on the record unequivocally that Jeffrey Epstein was working for Israeli intelligence operations, the Mossad, and running a classic honey trap operation. That is, lure people inside, record their activities, and learn about their peccadillos and use it to blackmail them. This is a former spy on the record in the new book, Epstein, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Interestingly, this person was also the
I don't think those two things can
Jeffrey
coexist and say it's fact. He's on the record. He's a spy, which means he's a liar, right? Because he lies for a living. He's a spy who wrote a book about spying, and on the record says that all happened. I don't think we can take that as truth or fact. I really don't. But he did meet with this guy once a month. Epstein did, at his New York palace, given to him by Westlake or whatever the hell that dude's name is, for free.
Epstein's best friend and ex-girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. She was said to have been one of the women who helped procure the underage girls for Epstein. She has denied that. But her father was Robert Maxwell, a media and press baron who owned the Mirror News Group in England and also the New York Daily News. He was a former Mossad agent.
So just real quick on Ghislaine, like, so now what? Should she get a retrial now that there was, nothing to see? I mean, I don't think she should, because she was found guilty of trafficking girls to Epstein. So all this talk about like, oh, she deserves a retrial, or she should come tell, in Congress what she knows. She's offered to do it, to get a Rule 35, a lighter sentence. But look, she was found guilty, and I think the courts have already spoken on this. Not the Supreme Court, but the district has already spoke on it and said, I know they spoke on it and said no, it stays as it stands, because she brought girls to Epstein. She was Epstein's pimp, basically, and that's what she was found guilty of, trafficking girls to Epstein. So I don't think she deserves to get out. She's a horrible person, just like Epstein was, right? But
And according to my source, Ari Ben-Mashari, the business that Robert Maxwell had was turned over to Jeffrey Epstein almost in a switch before Robert Maxwell died in mysterious circumstances off the back of a boat in 1991.
Well, this is mind-boggling stuff.
Mind-boggling stuff. Yes, it is. It sure is. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I kind of lost my spirit of the show when I lost my volume. That sucks. I know you guys are cool about it, but it sucks for me. Just making sure I didn't miss anything. Hey, Rosanna Dana is in the house. That's the greatest picture. I'll just hang out with you guys a little bit in the chat. John Lazon says, question, Sam, and you make another mute panel, please. Yeah. Yeah, I know, guys. But anyways, guys, it's really shitty out here today. It really is. The weather sucks. So I'm just gonna hang out inside the studio today and catch up on. I need to finish a video for Kim. I'm gonna do today. I didn't get to do yesterday because of running Hazley around. What else am I gonna do today? I'll probably do an upload today. Maybe edit some videos. My legal channel is just, I haven't done anything with it in so long. So those are my plans. What do you guys got plans today? Anything fun? Yeah, Samsters Unite. Thank you so much. It's what I get for trying to do like a professional show. You know what I mean? It really is. It's what I get. You know, I get 2,000 subscribers in 1 week, basically, just over 1 week. And now I feel like, oh, I got to be professional. And being professional means I stay muted for 10 minutes. That's God telling me what I need to do. Look at my ponytail. Hazley. But yeah, well, I hope you guys have an amazing day, a wonderful day. Sherry says it's been raining almost every day here in Arkansas, the most I ever think. Yeah, I can't believe how bad the weather got here. I mean, if it rained today, it would snow. And it has snowed in July before here. So that would be pretty crazy. It'd be pretty crazy if it did. Sam, question. Did you ever see Trump's letter this morning saying he doesn't want his supporters anymore over Epstein? I have not seen that letter yet. I haven't. I came in this morning into the studio and just put this show together, which it was a complete failure for the most part, information wise. And then I didn't get to see anything. No, actually, I got all the things I wanted to watch for the morning together last night. So I didn't get to see it, but I assure you, as soon as I get done here, I'm going to spend an hour and catch up and see what's going on. I just want to do good content and have fun with you guys, and also, you know, provide, you know, for this little crazy Sam fam of mine, which you guys are a part of. Mariana always asks me questions about certain people that we've talked about before on the show. She's always asking me, you know, hey, how's Kim? Or when are we? Because we're gonna have dinner with one of the viewers here soon. She's coming to Montana and is gonna stay at a hotel here, who I haven't seen on the show, so she must be really busy. But yeah, but I've been emailing her, so I'll be seeing her soon. So yeah, so she considers you guys and the show family too, and I think that's neat. I wish she would do more content, but her co-host got a new boyfriend, and so, you know, that was that. Babes, breakdowns, and breakthroughs is not making any breakthroughs. And they did a couple of really good shows, I felt like, on trauma and things like that. So thank you, Jackie. I appreciate that. Well, anyways, guys, I'm sorry if I missed anyone's question or comment. I really am. I did start one. Good morning, Samsters. I am present, always praying for all the creations. Oh, that's a perfect way to end the show. Jackie Azure says, good morning, Sam and Samsters. I am present, always praying for all of God's creations, as well as our Mother Earth. Blessings to all. That is perfect. Perfect. The only thing I would like to add to that is just to be kind. Be kind to each other, and most of all, be kind to yourselves, because I struggle with that, and I've talked about those struggles. Just be kind to yourself and be intrusively kind to others. Don't let them push you away unless they really ask you, like, hey, can we talk later? Can I accept your compassion for me and your love for me later, because sometimes we do have to give people space. And I don't know. I will see you guys, who knows, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, but it'll be soon, I assure you. You guys have a great day. I am Sam. Sorry about the mute. And this has been After the Bars. Mahalo.
Oh, wow. Well, this has been a journey. This has been a journey for us, like a journey through from legal troubles to mental health issues, to my own struggles, to your struggles, you sharing your struggles with me. I appreciate you, and thank you for that. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. My people from recovery to legal trials, hope and unity is what we're speaking about. It's a long way to the promised land. All my people understand that this land is our land. One nation under God, and ain't a thing changed. This ain't that, and ain't this, not the same thing. I'm about to bust a move, this a new groove, kinda like a mission, not the blues brothers. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. I can feel it, it's a new day. We've got a long way to go. Don't lose faith, don't let the mind games change you. What you see on TV is not always true. You could be anything you want to. I don't know about you, but I am not who I used to be. Not who I used to be. Not who I used to be. No. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows.